All right, better than never, I guess, huh? All right, hope everybody's doing well. Thank you so much. I have a good program for you today. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this. There's a lot of information to be had. I'm going to be showing you some images. Now, the first images that I'm going to be showing you are going to be hard to see, and so just expect that a little bit. The next set of images that will be shown are a little bit closer. Now, Paula, myself, and Eric, again, hello, folks. How are you? Hope you guys are doing well this morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
We're not going to be answering this for you at the very beginning. I'm going to be showing you and giving you opportunities to look at these coins. In the examples that I'm going to be giving you, one can exist and one cannot. And what I want you guys to look for is I want you to look at and answer why can one of these not exist. So you're going to have to think a little bit critically this morning. Look at them very closely. If you watch the short video that I released yesterday or one of the two shorts that I released yesterday, it gave you a little bit of an insight as to exactly why we're looking through this and exactly where to look. I'm going to show you a few of these coins here in just a second. First, I want to do my pleasantries, say hi to everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. So first off, panel members, good morning, Paula and Eric.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hope you guys are well.
Well, indeed.
You know, well, being well is deep, right?
It is deep. It is deep.
All right. I had a friend pass away, and his wife asked me to say something, and I was like, plethora. He goes, thank you so much. That means a lot.
Plethora. That means a lot.
That means a lot. Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Okay.
So let's go through and say hi to everybody. So, Siren, my mod extraordinaire, thank you so much for being here. Greatly appreciate you. Red Silver, thank you so much for being a channel member. AZ Coins, Kinomine, Azure, good to see you. Rockzilla's in the house this morning. Outstanding. Stan Horn, James Valley, good morning, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Steve looking for silvers in the house. Good day, sir. Hope you are well. Hey, me, what's up, my brother from another Navy mother? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. Good to see you. I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, I apologize. Okay.
Good morning, Azure Blue.
Hey, Azure, how you doing? So let's dig straight into this. All right. So
okay,
what I'm about to show you is this. Now I'm going to show you this particular coin, and I'm going to pull us off to the side, and we're pretty much just going to be looking at coins all day. Hey, Cadroll Hunter, good day, sir. Hope you're doing well. All right. So here we have 2 Morgan dollars. One of these, yeah, me, the weather's bipolar here right now. He's driving through Texas, obviously. The wind chill this morning when I got up to take the dogs outside was 4. This is,
wow.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? It doesn't make sense. Anyway, there are 2 coins here. And now, again, folks, the coins that I'm about to show you are overlays. They're not real coins, but they're done for a purpose. And the purpose for you to look at the coins and try to determine what's real and what's not. Now, it's going to be hard if you're looking at a phone. It's going to be hard for you to see some of these. And that's okay. I'm just going to go through some of the coins that we're going to be looking at really fast. So I'm going to bounce through these about 1 coin every minute, just so you can see kind of what's happening.
And by real, he doesn't mean like the coin's real.
No, yeah. So all of these are real
one's a
coins.
Possibility and
yeah.
One's not a possibility.
Thank you. Appreciate the clarification. All right. Eric now has his coffee and ready for the discussion.
Cheers.
All right. So again, there are 2 coins here. In theory, one of these coins can exist and one of these coins cannot exist. And so we're going to, I'm just going to go through these coins and I'm just going to show you, kind of give you a minute. Again, I know if you're in the vertical mode, it's going to be a little bit hard to see. Up at the top of chat, I have pinned. If you want to see this full screen, you want to see it bigger, you can do that. You can always zoom in with, looking at it closer if you need to. But I'm just going to kind of walk through a couple of these coins. All right. Here's the next one. This is a little dark. I should have lightened this up. This one is a little bit harder to see. But when I show you the other images, you'll get that. Again, we have a 65 and a 66 here. Take just a second. And again, I'll be breaking this down here in a minute. I just want you to see.
Lovely coins.
Yes, it is. Just see the entirety of the coin.
Mm-hmm. Lovely.
1877, 1876. Would love to have the coin on the left. And again, all of these are authentic coins. However,
I don't mind having either one of them.
In the fashion that I have them set, only one of them can theoretically exist. Okay, and that's the importance. Looking at this one of these is theoretical, one of them is not. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to dwell on that one. Same situation here. One is theoretical, one of them is not. And then this one. Theoretical, possible, and one is not. All right. Can we dance with your dates? Yes, Azure. Let's look at those dates. Very good suggestion. All right. So let's go ahead and go through and we'll pull this up a little bit more. Now, again, as Azure so kindly pointed out, let's dance with the dates. So we're looking at the dates here. Now, this is going to be chat engagement. Okay. Now, Paula and I, to give you a little bit of a backstory, had a really...
We were tasked with looking at something.
Yeah.
Because there were questions about it.
And so as we were looking through some things, we were trying to identify something, and I'm going to give you a minute to look at these. We'll move on. We'll come up with the answer here in just a few minutes. But as we were trying to look through this, I want you to understand the amount of research that went into verifying that what we had originally stated was not inaccurate in any way.
Right.
The amount of research that happened, we're talking about hours and hours and hours last night. I didn't go to bed till almost 1:30 this morning.
Looking through every series.
Books, online resources, everything. Okay.
Yeah.
One of these coins, one of these coins can exist, and the other one theoretically is an impossibility. It just doesn't. I shouldn't say impossible. It's improbable.
And has never happened prior.
Yeah, has never known to exist. Okay, so I would like you, if you're in chat, I would like you to kind of put down some things that you think you see. Great Scott, good morning. How are you? Put some things down that you are seeing, right? And again, this is discussion. This is about learning. This is extremely important. Because if you don't understand this fundamental tenet about the minting, I was very careful to say that correctly, Paula. I hope you're proud of me. The minting of a coin, then you need to go through some basics. Okay, so it's important. And Paula has said this, Eric has said this. We've done this a number of times over and over and over and over and over again. Understand the minting process. Understand what happens. Understand what is and what isn't possible by knowing the process. If you understand the minting process, by definition, you should be able to explain why one of these does and one of these doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Okay?
why one of them just makes no sense.
It just
Doesn't make
doesn't make sense.
Mm-mm.
And Eric's probably chewing on his fingernails right now, trying to say,
He's putting sounds like he's putting coins in flips.
I'm actually putting flip inserts in flips. It's
He's
keeping me
Flip inserts
engaged.
and flips.
he's
I
preparing
hear
for
the
his
flip.
reveal today. AZ coins 4/3 May. I'm assuming maybe. Okay, very, very insightful, AZ. Why do you say that?
Mhm. So you're saying 4/3 may exist, right? Is that what you're saying?
I think he's saying maybe,
Yeah.
not may exist.
Yeah.
I think he's saying maybe.
Yeah.
So explain to me why you say that, AZ. Neil's like, nope. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. I thought so. Explain to me
You're
why you
getting
say maybe.
warm.
Because it's a good insight.
Uh-huh.
Hey, what's up, Sloth? Good to see you. Christopher Ty, good morning, sir. Farm Dog, I didn't see you come in. Good morning, sir. I was looking at the floor.
Oh, you're on the right. You're getting warm, AZ.
Yeah, so keep along those lines. And again, for those folks
Yep.
that are looking at this is a very good thing. Now, do you know why I pointed this out? AZ, you did something that we all should do, and you may not have even realized you did it. Some things just don't look right, and your mind's eye will see those. Take note of that. If you see something on a coin and it just doesn't look right, take note of that. You may not know why at the time. Set the coin aside. Okay? Because your mind, if you look at enough of these, you'll begin to see things and you'll begin to understand. The doubling on the coin of the stars looks artificial on one side.
Go
Not
back to what
quite.
you were. Go back to the other thing you were talking about. Stick with that.
That was
Stay in
that was
stay
Azure,
in
not
that
that.
zone.
That was Azure, not
Oh,
AZ.
that was Azure.
Yeah.
Okay. That was
What's up,
Azure.
Alex? Good day, sir.
That was Azure. Good morning, Alex.
So, Cadroll Hunter up at the top, you'll see a link to come over to the landscape view. Nana's hair. Nope, it's not the hair, Nana. We're looking specifically at the date. 84 has a different size over 83.
You might
no.
tell them that these were like Photoshop things of yours. That these
Yeah,
weren't
so
these
are
actual, like,
these. Yeah, then I said this was an overlay. So these are coins that have
I'll be
been.
right back.
Yeah, these are coins that have been overlaid with each other. The dates are real. These are real coins. It's just in the configuration that I have right now, they can't exist. So AZ is on the right track. He said the problem in this one looks like it's going to be the 4/3. So why would the 4/3? Hey, Cadroll Hunter, there you go. Thanks, bud. Why would the 4/3 be different than the 3/4? And again, I'm going to, so Matt T, different size dates. That can happen from year to year. Okay, Alex, bubbling on the rim, shadows fake. Again, no, don't look at anything but the date. Okay.
Okay.
3 comes before 4. Okay, Azure. Outstanding. Okay, so why is that important? That is exactly correct. But why is that important? Well, they should not have a fixed 4 on a die and then a fixed. Exactly. Okay, Cadroll Hunter. You cannot, period, end of story, have an 84 punched over, or an 83 punched over an 84.
Correct.
Why?
You want me to explain why, or you want them to?
No, I want
why?
them to explain it.
Okay.
Okay? Best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. It wouldn't have a die in 84. Not in 83. That's correct, Cadroll Hunter. The 1984 die wouldn't exist in 1983. And they're not going to go backwards and create an old coin minting over. Yes, we're not going back in time.
Yeah, they're not going to be like in 84, be like, hey, I think we should make some more coins from last year. we didn't quite make enough of last year's coins.
Exactly. So the reason that we're bringing this up is that it's very important. Carrie Broleys, thank you so much for being a subscriber. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you. The coin
Correct.
here, which is the 83 on top of the 84, they would never have stamped 1883 over the top of an 1884 because they minted this coin in 83. So 84, the dies wouldn't have even been created yet. And they're not going to go back a year later and say, like Paula just said, hey, we
Let's
minted
make last year's coins.
we minted 10 million or 9,999,999. We need to mint one more just to
We
make
need
it
to make
an
one
even
more
10 million.
last year's
They're not
coins.
going to do this. Liquid Electrum, thank you so much for subscribing. Greatly appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that view. All right, let's do this. Because
Eric, are you struggling over there?
No, I'm good. I got a dog trying to eat my breakfast.
Oh.
let me put this up here because that didn't show up.
I got stuck in
There we go.
traffic because of spring training. That's why I was late. Sorry about that.
No, it's all good.
So CAD Roll Hunter.
So Liquid Electrum here.
This just simply makes no sense, right? It
Yeah,
makes
so
no sense.
Liquid Electrum said, isn't this common sense? Liquid Electrum, if it was, we wouldn't have been asked this question and we wouldn't have seen this.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. And again, Liquid Electrum, if you want to see this in landscape mode, you're more than welcome to click on the link up top. I stream this in both so that people can be reached. But I want, when Paul and I had been asked this question, she sent me a message and said, hey, let's talk. And so we started to go through some stuff. And I'm like, look, this is a great conversation. This is a great topic for tomorrow. Let's break this out. And again, she stayed up looking for any instance in which you would have the previous year's date over last year's date. And how many examples did you find, Paula?
0.
0. Okay, that is extremely important to this conversation.
Now,
okay.
Are we just talking about Morgans or?
No, on any denomination.
I'm going to be going through some stuff.
Mercury dimes have a 42 over 41, but that's a class 3 double die.
Okay, but Eric, hold on.
That's different. Yeah. That's not. You're not listening to the.
Yeah. So you missed the fundamental tenet of the problem.
Date.
No. You cannot have. Okay, so here's a better example. Okay, look at this example. Okay, which one fundamentally could never happen? Now, I mean, both of them.
No, I understand that, but you were showing a Morgan with a 4 over 3, and fundamentally it is possible. It just didn't happen.
But that's what I'm saying, Eric. But that's the entire point. I'm showing 2 coins. One hypothetically is possible. The other one is not.
1 over 2 would not be possible.
Yeah, 41 over 42 is not possible.
But so we know that there's a 42 over 1 Mercury dime, right, Eric?
Right.
But there's no 41 over 2.
That's correct.
Right.
That would not be possible.
That would not be possible.
I understand that part. I thought from what you were saying that it had never happened. I didn't know you were talking about one single direction.
We're talking about only one direction because, and the reason is because
possible. We said one's possible, one's not.
Yeah, you got to remember I was late to the party.
Yeah, no worries.
Right.
So this one, now we talk about this one. Now this one is kind of, again, not to muddy the waters, but this is one I wanted to be very clear. I'm only looking at the first one here. Right? Why would this never happen? Well, it's 100 years difference. But you would never go back and take a 1921 and then put the only person that would do something like this is Daniel Carr. Right? So again, there are things that you have to just understand would never exist in the natural world, right? Here's a 24. This is a peace dollar. Again, same situation. Which one of these 2 coins is plausible and which one is not?
Right.
Okay. So when you're looking at this, and I want you guys to answer in chat, I can tell you this, and I can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Paula can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But I want you guys to answer. Liquid Electrum says the bottom is not.
Correct.
Very good. Okay. This is what I want you guys to do. Now, again, don't be afraid of being wrong. Now, some of you guys are watching on TV and you don't have chat open. Not a big deal. Make sure you're hitting the like button, by the way, please. That does help. I want this information to get out to people. The top one is absolutely plausible because in 1925, you could have had a coin, now not necessarily this
A
late in the
die.
game, or
Mhm.
a die that you punched over, right? That's plausible.
Yeah, they could
Because
have ran out of that's how it happened. Well, not in 1925 because they weren't they
Yeah,
the
dates
Indian
were in
head stamp
master
was the
hubs at that point.
yeah,
last series of
right.
of the dates being punched in.
But of these two, the only one that's
um,
possible is the top one.
right,
Okay. So
right,
again, we're
because what
talking about,
happens
you're right.
was the mints ran out of dies, basically. So in a nutshell, the mints would run out of dies. They'd call it, hey, we need some die. We ran out of dies over here. So Philly would shoot them over some dies. They'd already have the date stamped in them. They'd file, abrade away the last digit, and then they'd put another digit over the top, and the other digit wasn't always abraded away, right? Same with like over bit marks. It was the same deal with over bit marks. They'd go, hey, we ran out of dies. So San Francisco they'd shoot them a Denver die. San
But
Francisco would be like,
wouldn't that,
take
unless
that
it was
key away.
unless it was hub, that wouldn't happen after 1909.
Not on the date, no.
Not on the day. But again,
No, we're
these are
just
all
using
theoretical.
he's just
Right,
using
right,
this
I
as
understand.
Yeah.
theoretical examples. So
Barbara Wall,
yeah,
1809.
that was Barbara Wall, that was actually my very first cherry pick, that coin right there. And I sold it to Mike from Mid-America Coins a couple years ago, and I miss it to this day. It was a beauty.
Did you say you don't miss it?
I do. I miss it every day. I miss it.
So let's talk about. So we'll get to that one in a minute. I'm gonna pin that one because I don't want to muddy the waters from what we're doing right now. I've actually got a couple coins that will do the same thing, but there are things that happen. We're talking about inverted dates. We're talking about inverted digits, right? Those things happen.
Yeah. Yep.
But you're never going to have the following year
Or the previous year punched
over the current year, right? We're in 2025. You're never going to see in 2025 a 26 over punch unless it's.
So for instance, as an example, an 1882 over 3 shield nickel would not exist.
That's right, because
As an example.
For the present and the future, not for the past.
Correct.
That's correct.
Correct.
That's correct. Because you can't have a future date on a coin because those dies would never have been created.
Correct.
If you have one, there's one of two explanations. It's fake. The person doesn't understand what they're looking at. So this one, 1877, 1876, which one of these theoretically could never exist? Yeah, but it doesn't match the timeline. Yeah, Liquid Electrum, you're spot on. And again, I know
that's
you're
what
like,
I said last night.
yeah,
I'm like, maybe he had a time machine.
Yeah. So, and again, Liquid Electrum is like this is common sense. Common sense. My grandfather used to tell me this. Common sense is only common if everybody understands the exact same.
Yeah.
Regional sense, right? Grits. Well, some people up north call it cream of wheat, not grits. Right.
Well, grits is corn. Cream of wheat is wheat.
Right. Well, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Gruel.
I like malto meal. Like malto meal.
Yeah. So we call it kashka. We don't call it malto meal at all.
Is my jam.
But yeah. So again, it's the 1876 over 1877. Why can't that happen? Well, in 1876, 1877 haven't happened yet. There would be no dies for that created. Okay. Now, would they have used a 1777? No, because there weren't Indian head cents at that time frame. Right? Yeah, it's apples and oranges. Exactly. So it's really important to understand this. And again,
You need to go out here. Get out.
you know, thanks for coming in and looking at this. But again, I'm wanting to share these with you. Here's one. Now this is going to muddy the water a little bit. This one and the next one is going to muddy the water a little bit.
Don't let it muddy the water.
Okay, but
Nobody likes muddy water.
this is a 1793 over 2 or a 1792 over 3. Now, I'm showing this one because this is a little bit different case scenario. Both of these coins exist. Now, I say exist, I'm talking about individually, they exist. In this configuration, they don't. Okay. So what are we looking at? Well, good band. In this configuration, not sure what that is. Now this one's going to be a little tricky. Eric, are you picking up on this one?
I'm not really concentrating on it. Sorry.
So we've got a flowing hair,
Yes.
1793 and 1792. Overdates can be rare, collectible, rare. Yeah. Well, so when you're talking liquid electrum, that's a good point. Overdates can be very rare and collectible on rare coins. The reverse of 79. There is a small exception. 78 with the reverse of 79.
But that's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Uh-uh.
Right. We're talking specifically. We're talking specifically about the dates. Ashes, good morning, brother. How are you? Hope you're doing well. For all the first responders that are in the house, thank you so much for the work that you do. I appreciate you. And for the military and men and women, veterans and stuff who were there. So I'm going to elaborate on this coin a little bit more. So the reason I say both of these coins exist is because one is a dream coin.
Right, a Daniel Carr coin.
It's a Daniel Carr coin, and that is the 1792. Okay, that coin doesn't exist. It's a fantasy coin created by Daniel Carr. Okay, however, the 1793 does exist. So the 1793 over 2 can't exist because 1792 never existed. Why is this important? Well, it's important. Oh, Muddy Waters. I got you, Muddy the Waters. There you go. So why is this one very important? Well, because neither one of these can exist. Magnuson, good morning. How you doing? I don't know if it was mentioned. How does this happen? So one of them can exist and one of them cannot exist. And the reason that this one, and this is probably not a good one. Let me go back one and show you this one. So this is a good example. It is impossible, Magnuson, for the year 1876 to have an overdate of 77, or not, excuse me, to be overdated on a 77 coin, because we're in 1876, 1877 dies would never have even been created. It would have never been done. However, in 1877, there could have been an 1876 coin that was done, or a die that had been done. There was an overdate done. Now, in this particular example, you can see that the dates are completely wonky and it doesn't align, but that is absolutely possible, right? So, but the bottom one can't exist. There's no way. It just can't exist. It's not feasible. And by definition, you guys go look up, go Google, right? You guys are watching on TV, open your phones. You guys have a computer, open up another window and Google overdate. And by definition, you can't have a future date. It has to be a past date. So it's important that we show these. In this particular coin, the reason that I put this one together was because this one can't exist at all. period. 1792 doesn't exist. Now, the 1792 Daniel Carr creation would never have been at the mint. That die would never exist. So if you see one of these, it's a fantasy coin or it's a complete and utter forgery, a fake. Okay? So it's important to understand this. Now, this one should make some people smile. The Shield nickel. 1865, 1866. Again, which one of these can't exist? Top or bottom? And I have no problem being quiet.
Are beautiful coins.
Yeah. Very clean. Liquid Electrum, top. Okay, so if there's a price, matter of fact, Liquid Electrum, do me a favor. Do exclamation point email. Send me your information. I'm going to send you a, for participating in chat, I'm going to send you one of the Frostbyte coins, poker chips, and I'm going to send you a sticker pack for participating. I definitely appreciate you guys.
I do like the way that one looks on that 1866.
Yeah.
And there are some RPDs that look like that.
There
Oh,
are.
there are beautiful repunch
Yeah.
dates on the two centers. Yeah, beautiful repunch dates.
So here, let me do this for you. Liquid Electrum, when that pops up, copy that, send me an email, and I'm going to send you. And I've got, Paul, I got yours and a couple other people's that I haven't sent out. I got them sitting on my desk. I'll get those out today from last week because I have your copper round.
Do I get a poker chip too?
You do, actually.
I'm still, Chuck was
Okay,
supposed to
yay.
send me poker chips for you guys. He never did.
Come on, Chuck.
So Liquid Electrum, thank
At
you
the
for doing
top
that,
of
though.
that
I
guy.
appreciate you being engaged. So is the
I
die
actually-
crack 65 or 66?
I'm not going to say anything, but Frostbite on the coin that kind of brought this thing up. I actually sent it to Chuck. I'm like, can you believe this?
Yeah. So the great question is the die
No.
crack on the 65 or the 66?
So
Ashes.
that was the coin that brought all this whole subject up?
No.
No.
It's not.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it
Sure.
after.
So
If you want, if he has time when after he is done with the live, just stay in here for a minute.
yeah, just stick around for a little while. So
And
the
I'll-
die
and I'll
crack is on the
explain the
1865 Ashes. That is actually there. That actually runs all the way through that 8 up through that 6 into the 5. But the 1865 is the one cannot be over 1866. Again, in 1865, you are not going to have an 1866 die. They would never have made that. They would never have created that. So it's extremely important.
If they needed another die, they would have just used one from the previous year.
Yeah, right. So they're not going to create a brand new die with a future date. Now, we'll get to a situation in which they created a coin in a previous year, or they minted. There you go. I'm working hard on that, Paula. They
Minted.
minted a coin in the following year, but we'll get to that one because that's a that's one of my favorite items. Magnuson, did they ever, hold on just a second. Magnuson says, did they overpunch new dates
got a
on
fur
older
ball.
coins because of lack of minting capability or lack of metal or simply a mistake? That's a great
To save
question,
money.
Magnuson. So there's a
They
couple
just
different
don't use
reasons.
dies.
Yeah, just Mag. Okay, so yes, they did. And there were a number of different reasons for it. Number one was to save money, right? If you can just
Mhm.
abrade away the previous number and add the new one, then you're going to save money on running that through the entire process of creating the master hub
Mhm.
and then the master die and then the working hub and then a working die. If you can just take one and abrade it away and do that, you take one of the steps away of creating a new master hub. So as Paula was saying earlier, and Paula, you can clarify if I say anything wrong here, Philadelphia, that maintained basically all the dies, would send it to San Francisco or send it to Denver, and then Denver would make the correction, right? But they're never going to send a future hub to Denver. So they're never going to give you a 1866 hub in
Working
1860
die.
or working
Working
die
die.
in
Actually, I think all the dies were done at Philadelphia till the late 80s.
yeah.
Yeah, because Denver started making
Then
die.
Denver
Yeah,
started.
then
Yeah.
they had their own shops. So even the mint
Yep.
marks were put in at Philadelphia.
Yep.
So they wouldn't have never done that because in 1865 there would have been no master hubs, no master dies, no working dies, because it's the following year they never would have created that. So
Well,
it's
I think Denver had their own. Denver would apply their own mint mark, I believe. Eric.
That was after a certain date also.
I think okay. Well, you have to check.
I'll look. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure that Denver punched their own. mint
Denver
marks.
punched their own, but I don't
Yes.
remember when that started. For a long time, Philadelphia was doing all of it and then sending it off. But yeah, so Magnuson, that's a wonderful question, right? And this is where learning is crucial.
Yeah,
This is
great
where
question.
it's understanding the process, right? Yeah, vote for Pedro. Good day, sir. Hope you're doing well. Let's do this one. And only one D Morgan, the 21.
And I want to explain something to you guys. And I'm not gonna. We are not naming any names. Nothing today about this. But I just want to explain something to you guys that it doesn't matter how long somebody has been doing, been in this hobby and been doing this hobby. They can make a mistake.
Well, that's why you continuously
the biggest
learn.
problem with this one was that the biggest problem with this one was that they were given an opportunity to correct their mistake, and they doubled down. They doubled down with it, and they were just wrong. They're just wrong.
So the information that I was given, and again, folks, if anybody knows what we're talking about, please do not enter it in chat. Okay.
Yeah, don't say
My
anything in
intent
chat.
here is not to call anyone out or badmouth
This
anybody.
person will make it right, I'm sure.
Okay,
And
that's
it really,
yeah.
yeah.
But what's important here to understand is that when asked, the information that I was given was also wrong. Because I was told that I needed to go back and look at 2 different cherry picker guides in order to find this. Now, that means that one, it was either delisted, which means
it was never existed.
It never existed, and they pulled it out because it was wrong, or they are saying this because they're banking on the hunch that I only have one. Right. And so it's really important. Absolutely, Mag. Thank you so much for coming in.
But this person, like, I think that if they would have stopped and really thought about it, they would have realized that it wasn't a possibility. So
yeah, and I'll be clear with you guys, and Paula knows exactly what happened. For transparency purposes, I sent her a copy of the email. She saw exactly. And my question was not ignorant. And I'm going to read you this. So give me just a minute while I pull this up, because I want to read you something, because what I want people to understand is I'm learning all the time, learning. And sometimes there are things that I see, sometimes there are things that happen, and I want to make sure that I understand this. And so I'm going to ask a question in a way. If any of you are parents, you've probably done this to your kids. If any of you are bosses, you've probably done it to your employees. And that is, you ask the question that you know the answer to kind of find out what response you're going to get. So the question was this. I was watching, and I saw the 82 over 83.
These are overlays, Ashes.
These are overlays. Okay. I was looking at this and I'm confused. I would like your help. The FS number that you give us is not listed anywhere, and that puzzles me. Plus, your listing of the coin confuses me as well. For over an hour and a half, I've tried to gather information on the coin, and it doesn't appear that the coin exists, where a later date was stamped over the current year. The FS listed coin was for an 83 over 82, not 82 over 83. That just can't happen. I would appreciate your help. So it was not stated to be ignorant. It was not stated to be mean. My intent was not to call them out and call them out during their live and say, you're wrong.
No, you even said you don't have to look at the. I sent you an email. You don't
And
have to
in
look
chat,
at it
I was
right
very
now.
clear. Do not
Yeah.
answer. You don't have to answer this email in chat. Okay.
Right.
I'm not confronting you. Now they answered it. That was up to them. That was their call. But I gave them every out. All I wanted was the information. I just wanted to know. And they doubled down and told me it's very hard to find. I know you probably don't understand this, but you have to look at multiple different places. So I asked him very kindly, would you be willing to send me the FS listing? And all that happened was the topic changed. So why am I doing it? I'm not telling you what channel it was. I am not calling anybody out. What I want to do is this is an opportunity. Every failure, every mistake is an opportunity to grow and to learn. Not a big deal. But what I wanted people to do is I wanted people to look at this and be able to answer the question, what can and what can't exist? So folks, it's very important to understand the minting process, because if you understand every year they create new dice or new hubs for that year, granted the process is going to change a little bit because of the new technology that they have, and we saw that with the flowing hair metal that came out, this beautiful privy thing. Thanks, Robert Bruce. I appreciate that comment. That was awesome. And you too, Mag. I appreciate you. But I want you guys to be able to look at this. When Paula and I had a really, really fun discussion yesterday, and it sent us both down a rabbit hole.
It did.
To allow. Go ahead.
Nothing. We didn't want to do or say anything until like complete research was done, because even though in our heads and everything else tells us that can't happen or shouldn't happen, we wanted to make sure that there wasn't some oddball, weird Back to the Future type thing that happened, like a time continuum or a time warp or something. So we actually went. I mean, I went through Breen, I went through Fletcher, I went through Q. David Bowers. I looked in every cherry picker's guide that I had. I have the third. I have the third edition and up. I don't have 2 and 1, but I looked through all of my cherry pickers. I went through Variety Plus. I went through PCGS CoinFacts.
Liquid Election said, did you go through a wormhole?
And I mean, literally, and that was just, I did. I went through my wormhole. That was just for the shield cent. Then I went back and I looked at PCGS CoinFacts. I looked at every series, every denomination for any overdates that may exist from that were, earlier year punched over the top of a later year. And there, not one single example exists. And you can do that yourself.
Cadroll Hunter asked an extremely good question. And so Paula and Eric, I'll defer this one to you.
Glitch in the Matrix.
Okay. What is the earliest they would prepare dice for a calendar year? Did they always wait until after January 1st? No. Or after the previous year's run was complete?
So in the modern minting process, they can actually make dice on demand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it used to, I never heard of an exact date, but I did know there used to be legislation that said they couldn't mint a coin for a year unless it was in that calendar year.
Yes.
Right.
But they did change that because through the 65 through 67, they minted 64 coins almost all the way through
76. 76
bicentennial. Okay, so the bicentennial house
75
is another great item. Now there's also, we talked about this before, Matter of fact, I'm going to give away another sticker pack. Paula and Eric, obviously Paula is deemed ineligible. It
I'm
is her
not eligible.
favorite trivia question, so I'm going to allow her to ask it. But in history,
Oh gosh.
is there any
I
coin
gotta wait.
that was actually, you know what, Paula, you just ask it.
Okay, hang on. I gotta get to
She's
it.
going to get the wording exactly right.
I want to get the wording exactly right.
Right.
So
And so the reason is Liquid Electrum, the 21 piece dollar was made in December of 1920. Okay, so
I gotta find my glasses. Just
here,
continue to talk. I'll find
yeah,
it.
no problem. But here's the exception. Okay, Liquid Electrum. This is a good point. Matter of fact, I have a bonus item here, and I'm going to show you. You guys ready? So I wasn't going to show this until later on. Case in point. Okay, Morgans. Do these exist? So the 21 piece dollar Liquid Electrum there was no 1920. In 21, or 1920, they were developing the prototype. They were developing the original coin, right? So Liquid Electrum says neither one of these exist. You know what? This is the only one you've gotten wrong. Ashes. Can you tell me what these are? So again, now a lot of people are going, hold on, whoa, 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 whoa. The Morgan dollar wasn't created until 1878. Guess what? That's absolutely correct. The 1877 is a pattern coin. We are looking at pattern coins. Absolutely. Cadwell Hunter, boom. Yes.
There you go.
Okay, now here, check this out. It's not a dollar though. These are Morgan half dollars. These are prototypes. These are pattern coins that were created and developed in 1877, right?
I'm telling you, if you guys go look at pattern coins, look through like PCGS, look through the pattern coins. It just spend a couple hours.
Wicked cool.
If you have it, you're gonna go, why did they not use this? It's crazy.
Yeah, wicked cool.
Yeah.
And Paul and I were talking beautiful freaking, right?
Yeah.
Now I've got a listing of these, and I'll be putting this in chat here in a little bit. I want Paula to do this, but I'm going to give you a list of the 1877 half dollar pattern coins. And actually it's in, where did this go? Let me pull that up. Paula, you go ahead and answer your trivia question, then I'll finish my thought in a second.
Now, attention to detail is important here. So
listen carefully.
Listen carefully. What was the first year that the flowing hair half dime was struck?
There's going to be a sticker pack for the right answer.
Sticker packs.
Google's on fire.
What? Google? You won't find this answer on Google.
Well, it's still on. Doesn't mean they're not asking.
Yeah.
The flowing hair half dime was struck.
And you can find this, but you have to answer the question correctly.
Are you going to put a go, or are you going to, did they get one guess, or?
No, let them go until somebody gets the right answer.
Okay. It was the first year that the flowing hair half dime was struck. Flowing hair half dime, Cadwell Hunter.
Boy, I've been looking for information on when the Denver Mint started striking their own mint marks. And man, there's a lot of misinformation out there.
everything there. You can type in anything about coins on Google,
the
and
best
it just
answer
garbage.
I got was from a Ken Potter article in Numismatic News
Mhm.
that basically shows an undated photo of them adding mint marks on dies at the Philadelphia Mint.
Uh-huh.
And then it just says
Maybe
after them,
don't.
into the 80s, they were done in Denver because they had their own machine shops. That's when they were developing the
Well,
single.
that's the dies, yeah.
So Liquid
Right.
Electrum said February 1970 or 1875 or 1775. Actually,
What?
February
Nope.
1875. Some were dated 1774.
What? Hang on, I got it. He said what?
He's in the other chat. People are saying 1783, 1794, 1793.
No. Some were dated 1774. Some were dated, no, some weren't dated 1774. Oh, he said, oops, 1794. Yeah, I think that's as close as.
Yeah, I agree. So Liquid Electrum.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add, you got the sticker pack already. I'm going to add a copper round.
Copper round.
It's the,
so
one of my favorite one. It says, think like a captain, act like a pirate. I'll be sending that one to you. So Liquid Electrum is on fire.
Unless you have a red book, you probably wouldn't be able to find this answer. I mean, you might be able to if you look, but it's in the red book. The flowing hair type was first struck in February 1795, although some were dated 1794.
Yeah, so Liquid Electrum was the only one to get that right. A lot of people were saying 1794, but it was actually struck 1795. That is the only case, but again, they never overdated those. So again, we're talking about overdates. Now, in chat, you guys are not going to be able to click on this in the portrait mode, but you can copy this. But for those of you that are in the chat, you can click on it, just copy it, right click on it, save it.
Tricky.
Oh, here's an interesting fact on that coin.
Ashes, hold on, I didn't see your thing. Where are you?
It explains where the word dime comes from.
Ashes did say that earlier. You got it. You did. Ashes, send me an email and I'll send you a sticker pack. You did get that.
Have you ever seen this about the half dime, Paula? That the word dime in general was supposed to be Disney.
Yes,
that's
different. So there's a half Disney, 1792.
But it's actually pronounced Deem.
Dime, so they just dropped the S.
It's actually called Deem. That's how you say it. It's not Disney, it's Deem. And it's French. Nick, have a good one. Enjoy your day, brother.
Well, it depends on who you ask.
That's the proper.
I only speak English and Pig Latin, and then English is my second language, so it's not very good.
Yeah, I only know how to say a few things, and they're not proper.
No, I was just reading that about 1794. This question has come up before.
Big Flip, what's up, brother? Thanks for being here. I appreciate you being a member. 7 months, Frosty. Appreciate you.
Ashes, if I missed it.
Richard Earl, I have a 50-cent piece.
Oh, yep, I see it. 1794, dated, minted in 1795. Yep,
he did.
I missed that, Ashes.
I did too. So,
it.
Ashes, you got my email address. Send me something. I'll send you a sticker pack. Okay. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, that was early on.
Yeah, you got that. I totally missed that. Yeah, it's definitely a cool coin. Liquid Electrum asked if it's the Denver because the Denver's a key date. That's good. It has a 1949 Benji. Hopefully it's a 1949D. That'd be cool. But anyway, so yeah, these pattern coins exist. But that link that I copied in chat, and again, I'll throw that back in here. This is the pattern coins. It's a really cool
pattern
little thing, and you'll be surprised. You're going to look at some of these and go, why the hell didn't they do that coin? Matter of fact,
there's documentation that actually explains why on a lot of those coins, though. And they don't get into specific coins, but like Barber, when he's the engraver, it's all about production on edges and stuff like that. Is it even viable to make a die that would last into a production cycle?
So let's do this. And let
That's
me.
why they did trial strikes with the
Yeah.
Martha Washington dies.
Oh yeah, love. I want one of those. We talked about that beginning. Look at this. Look at this. I
Lovely.
love this coin right here.
You
I
know,
love that.
some of my favorite patterns are on nickels, believe it or not.
Yeah,
Some of my
absolutely
favorite patterns.
fabulous. I
Good
really
morning,
like
Big
this.
Flip. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in, Big Flip. Numista is a great online resource. I agree. It does lack detail in history, but I do like Numista.
Oh, it's
Numista is
best.
also a great free resource to catalog your coin collection.
That is.
It is a free resource if you guys
Unless
don't
variety.
know that already.
Not good to catalog varieties.
Yeah,
Trying to
but just
find.
to catalog your general coin collection.
He said, "Hello, Chief." I was looking for Chief, as in Chief Stacker, but I think you're just saying hi, Chief.
And it's actually good, decent for prices.
I like NGC.
Yeah, I'm just saying for raw coins, it's not bad, not a bad. It's more accurate than the Red Book would ever be.
Yeah,
and it's free.
Yeah, these pattern coins are cool.
I like Numa's Media for.
I guess that's what
pricing.
I'm talking about. It was Numis Media, isn't it?
Yeah,
Was it?
Numista. Yeah, Numista is different than Numa's Media.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Numista is
talking
really
about.
good for world coins. If you're looking up world coins, you can.
It's also
Yeah, Numis
great
is
for
the foreign coin. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Numista is also great to catalog your U.S. coins. Also, if you need a resource to keep a catalog of your coin collection, it's a great place to do that.
Liquid Electrum says, I like PCGS best. They set the market. NGC is cool because of the star designation.
Well, I do not use PCGS anymore as a price guide. First of all, PCGS is
Inflated.
You can only compare it to other graded coins. You cannot use it as a raw coin pricing guide resource. And any price guide is a guide, right? It's just a guide.
Yeah, exactly.
PCGS is it only gives you information on already graded coins.
And truly already graded PCGS coins. I mean, most other coins that are graded don't bring as much money. So when you use the PCGS price guide, it's basically putting PCGS prices out there.
And what you need to do is you cannot go by, when you look up a price on PCGS, whatever, it'll give you a guide, a price guide. But if you look down, if you scroll down a little bit, it'll have actual auction records. It'll have sales records.
Yeah, realized prices.
And so you want to try to find current, because it also it'll give you realized prices from 15 years ago, but you want to find current prices. But PCGS, I don't think they update that site very often, especially now that it's all corporate.
So I'd like to key on to something.
As far as the sales, I don't think they've updated it since before COVID.
Yeah, yep. I don't think that they do. So your best bet really is to look at realized auctions prices, or eBay sold listings. You don't just use one, you got to use several.
Yeah, great collections, Heritage, Stacks, Bowers, they've all got records of the past auctions that you can search. Yeah. You may have to register with a couple of the sites to get to that part, but most of them registration's free.
So Mag,
it makes sense.
Mag says, can I ask a question about coins and grading? Or is this subject based? I don't want to change the subject. Feel free to ask any question you want.
Whatever.
Feel free at any time. Not a big deal. I'll do what I did like with the other one with Cat Roll Hunter. I'll wait until we're done with that particular line topic. And again, folks, if you're in the chat, please make sure you're smashing that thumbs up. If you're just listening and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, please. We've had a number of people subscribe. Thank you so much again, Liquid Electrum. Thank you so much. Mary Broyles, thank you so much for subscribing. Definitely appreciate that. Mario Anazzoli, Norman Estrada, thank you guys for subscribing today. I definitely appreciate that. Um, but again, when we're looking at these, and I'll go through these again for the latecomers
Here,
because
I'll give you guys a free, because Gray Sheet costs money. I'll give you guys a free online resource, and I love this resource. I don't care. Some people, they have their opinions. I love this resource. It is updated frequently. I don't know. I mean, it's updated frequently, and I think it's pretty darn accurate. If
And
you want a
another thing,
resource for raw coin prices, fair market value, for raw coin prices, check out this website.
yeah, that's a good one. The Gray Sheet has changed. It's not the very reliable information that it used to be. When Whitman took over, a lot of things changed and went to just like random. They must be having a computer do it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things changed from where it used to be like it would be prices to the nickel. Now everything's always in the round dollar. So it makes me, and like I keep track of it. I subscribe to Gray Sheet because it's
But
great.
if you were I used to. I
Well,
just
it's a great
canceled my Gray Sheet subscription. I
tool
just
to
don't
let
use
me
it
know what I
anymore.
should pay for something.
Yeah,
It gives dealer
yeah.
prices, and
It does.
it might be good for the random collector to get it for a month. I mean, it is $25 a month, because a lot of collectors don't understand when they take their coins to a dealer. They're like, he's trying to lowball me. Well, he's using an actual. Most of them actually use the Gray Sheet to go for, so he's
Well,
using
you can
a set price.
subscribe to Numismatic News.
Yeah.
I think that what do they do? CPG prices, I think, on there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they have a guide on there too. But the one thing to remember, though, in my opinion, the most important thing to remember is you're wasting your time pricing your coins, period, if you don't have some idea on how to grade your coins. You're just wasting your time, because
agree.
prices can be
Absolutely agree.
from
Yep.
G4 to MS70. They can be all over the place, and you
Right.
need to have some idea of where,
Ashes,
at
who
least
pays
eighth grade,
to the
where
nickel
you're
or
at.
penny? Well, back in
Yeah.
the day when you bought rolled coins, like a roll of 1960 pennies, bank wrapped roll, wholesaled for 65 cents and then sold for $1. That's why they went. And now everything is to the dollar. They just changed everything.
Okay, let me see.
Whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't really matter, because everything has changed anyways.
So
Magnuson asked a question.
yeah, I have the Numis Media up here. It's a great
It's awesome. It's
tool.
awesome.
It is.
Very
It
nicely
is.
designed. So again, I just wanted to pull that up. So
And like I
people could
say,
see.
it's a truer price guide than Red Book or
Yep.
anything like that.
So if you guys are wanting to look at that, be familiar with that. But again, they're only guides, okay? So just make sure
Yeah,
you're tracking that.
they're just guides.
Well, like everything else. I mean, that was what I was meaning with the Gray Sheet. And I'll just use rolls as example because I buy a lot of rolls.
Mhm.
A 1986D used to be a $25 roll because they're hard to come by. For years they were. When Whitman took over, they raised the price of an 86p, or no, it was 86p was the hard to get one. They lowered the price of the 86p and raised the price of the 86D, and they're both like $12 now. And you see that a lot across the board, that the Philadelphia and Denver are the same cost when the mintages are totally different. They shouldn't be the same cost.
So let's go back to the Mags question, and thank you, Liquid, for answering that. But it says, is it worth sending coins to be graded with errors, even if you're not sure what type or error or condition? No.
No.
Now, do your research before you do that. Matter of fact, I had somebody send me a message in the middle of the night last night asking about a coin that had a penny, 1990 penny that had a 180-degree rotated reverse. and they said, I can't find any information on it. Should I send it to get graded? I says, I am not a big grading fan, but maybe. I says, but before you do that, try to find some realized prices. And he said, and I looked, I couldn't find any either.
What was the condition of the coin
I didn't see
overall?
a picture of the coin. The only information I got is, he says, I'm trying. He says, I sent it to James Wiles. He charged me $15 to tell me that it had a rotated reverse. And I knew that already.
Well, of course.
And I says, yeah.
I would have charged you $15 too.
And,
I would have charged you too.
and so
I
he
mean,
kept
I'll do
saying,
it
how much
online
is it
for free.
worth?
But
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm really not the right person to ask about that because number one, I don't collect them. I mean, if I found it, I'd probably keep it or I'd try to sell it. But as far as collecting it, that's not what I collect. So I wouldn't,
no.
At first I thought he was fishing for me to say, hey, I want to buy that.
Well, I would have. Yeah, I don't tell anybody anything ever
Yeah.
without seeing the coin. I got to see the coin before I'll.
Well, I
give you
saw a
any
different
information.
coin. It was like
Yeah.
a second, for
But
for a
that
different
that is
question.
a huge rotation.
Right.
Yep.
And he says that it's
on a
actually not
modern.
180 degrees, it's only 170.
Well,
and one thing,
that's still that is a huge rotation for a
Right.
modern coin.
yeah. So now, Liquid Electrum said 15% rotation gets the designation. But let's go back to the question about getting things graded. So when do you get stuff graded? In most cases, you don't need to. Now, there are some situations in which you can. And so when you're looking at rarities, now I don't know, Coach's Magic is in here, but Jackalope popped in. We found the one 1795, right? Presented it online. We looked through it, looked through all our stuff, kind of checked through some items, and looked for all the markers. And it's like that's a real coin.
An authentic coin, right?
Yeah, that's an amazing find. Congratulations. In that regard, you're talking about a rare coin, 200 plus years old, that is extremely valuable. Absolutely send that in. Not only
And that's
to confirm the
my thing is
validation of
money.
it, but to protect the coin, right? Because it's an extremely expensive coin. It's a very, very cool piece to have.
My guide on grading is if a coin is worth $200 to $250, I will consider it.
Yes. Now, and
My
that's
guide on
exactly what
grading
Liquid
is
Electrum said.
if you have to ask if you should send a coin in to be graded, my answer to you is
Is no.
always going to be no.
Yep.
Right. Well, that's different. I mean, my guide, like I say, I'm not a big grader. I just don't send coins in to grade them because I don't have a coin business. I mean, that's something that coin shops do, but they're in business to do it. And that way people can be relatively certain what they're buying from them. I understand why they do it. But to me, I don't do it unless, if I go to sell a raw coin, well, let's just say I got a PCGS submission in now of a 1942 FS504, and it's a beautiful coin. If it comes back, I mean, the coin's a $2,500 coin. Nobody's going to pay $2,500 for it raw, but they'll pay $2,500 all day graded. That's what I'm saying. When you start getting $200, $250, you're talking about the difference between somebody will give you $75 for it raw, and you'll get $200 for it graded.
But I just want to go back to his basic question, if we could.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get like, I just want to answer his basic question.
And he said, thank you. I agree with you all. Like he's good. He's tracking. So I appreciate that, Mag.
Okay. Well, so error coins are different than anything else. You can't judge whether an error coin is worth having graded compared to a non-error coin.
And that was the advice I gave this guy. I says I couldn't answer his question.
Yeah. The best thing so most advanced error coin collectors don't want their coins graded. They don't want to buy graded coins. They want to buy them raw. They want to be able to take them out, look at them, inspect them, really like get in close and take them out, be able to do that every once in a while, right? And appreciate the coin. That you can't do that when a coin's graded. There's 3 sides to every coin, and you can't see the third side. And sometimes you need to see the third side when it comes to error coins. So there's that. Now, if that is what you're talking about, if you're talking about error coins, if you're talking about variety coins, that's also a completely different
and if you're talking about just normal coins, it's even different again.
Hey, Chappie, member for 16 months. Thanks so much.
You have to know. You have to know exactly what you have. If you don't know what it is, then you absolutely should not send it in for grading.
I 100% agree.
Yep, agree.
You need to verify what it is before you even think about it.
Otherwise, you're wasting your money.
Yeah. You're just and
yeah, and Robert Bruce, you're going to want to, you do your standard thing, right? Look at the diameter, look at the weight, look at the dates, make sure things are authentic. I'm going to pull this back up again because just I want to. But there's a number of different reasons why you would.
There are 7 different normal business strike variations for 1982, Robert Bruce. 7. The only one
that doesn't have one in 3 grams is this 82D small date.
Yeah, that's the 8th one.
The acorn.
That's the 8th wonder of the world.
That the chance of finding is you've got a better chance of getting eaten by a shark and struck by lightning
at the same time.
Winning the lottery, all at the same time. Yeah.
So, and Liquid Electrum raw versus graded is a whole show in itself. Yeah, it is.
It is.
But again, when we're looking at these things, it's important for you guys to understand. But the purpose of today's show, and we're not done. We can continue the conversation. I'm in no hurry today. I want to make sure people understand this concept. Is there anybody who's came in? I want to get back to our original topic because, again, a lot of people are coming in because they want to see what we're talking about in relation to this. Is there anybody who doesn't understand? Let me get to a photo that. There we go. Is there anybody who doesn't understand this? Which is, which one of these is probable and which one is improbable? Because if there's any question on this, I want to go back through this again.
Yeah.
And this is the purpose for today's show. This is extremely important that people understand this. Okay. I just want to make sure we can continue to ask questions. Please ask questions. But I just want to make sure that we do this. Okay. So again,
so it was a transition year, right? They were transitioning from copper to the copper plated zinc cents. And they made 2 different date types. One was much more elegant than the other.
Yeah, I think the master dies are different.
Oh, they totally are. They have to be, right?
83 uses the small date.
Yeah, and 83 it's from the elegant 82 on. They used the dates were just much more crisp and elegant, and the 82 large date is just like a second grader made it. Like, what? It's a big blob of nothing. And that goes with all of the devices on the 82 large date. So it's very possible that they did that because they realized that that type of devices, the big fat bulky devices and everything, was not going to work on the copper plated zinc cents.
Right.
That's probably it.
So they had to redesign it. Yeah, they had to redesign it to make it work with the new metal composition. And then they just went from there. And I'm glad they did, because it was a great change. Not the copper plated zinc. That sucked.
That sucks.
But the redesign of the date and all the devices was a great change.
You know what else sucks?
No, here we go.
The shield scent.
I am not a big shield scent fan.
Yeah, if you want a great 1982 explanation, Chuck has, I would say, what is the best
Oh, the video.
1982 video
Yeah.
ever.
He has by far the best series of videos, period, for
Yeah.
any of the any copper coins.
If you really want to,
Lincoln cents,
if you really want a solid video on 82 and understanding the differences and the nuances, go check that out. By far, the best one I've ever seen. He
And it's
has
only like
such
3
an
minutes, so
elegant
it's easy to
way.
watch.
He has such an elegant way of talking about it. It's very clear. It's very concise. Probably one of the best ones. Inkman, have a great day, bud. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, Chuck at Copper Coins.
Yeah.
Has if you want any information on any variety or anything on the Lincoln Cent series, that is the place to go. You don't need any other resource, period. And then if you want other information, you go to LiveCoin Q&A, but just saying. Well, we haven't been very active lately. But that's going to change.
Coming up?
We do. Yeah, we do. Tomorrow, I'm doing an interview with Jack Young again on a counterfeit, the counterfeit $1,795, and that's going to be fun. Jack and I always have a blast talking.
That's always a good interview. That's right.
Yeah, that'll publish Monday, and then we'll come up with more. I think what we're trying to what he would like to do is, he's put out articles, like tons of articles on counterfeit coins, period. And I think what he would like to do is have a video to go along with his articles. So that's kind of what we're trying to do, is give him a video that he can have when he talks about him, to use. So, and then Amanda and I are going to, we've kind of, anyway, there's going to be stuff. There's going to be stuff. We are going to do some roll hunts. But yeah, we're going to get on and just do some Q&A stuff. And
so I threw
that.
I threw Chuck's video in there on the 1982.
Perfect. LiveCoin Q&A has one too, but it's not as good as Chuck's. It's good.
And I think Chuck's actually going to remaster that one. He's been going through and remastering a lot of the old ones.
He needs to leave that one alone because he'll blow his algorithm. The algorithm.
No, he'll leave it there, but he's going to remaster it and re-release it.
If he does that, he'll blow his algorithm, because YouTube will notice that they'll axe this one
duplicate.
It'll be video suicide. Don't do that. So I know he wants to do that, but again, there's things with
face value, Robert Bruce. And Robert Bruce, that sounds to me like you may have the wrong type of scale for weighing coins. If you are, and you may not, I don't know, but you should have a scale when you're weighing coins, and this is for everybody, that weighs to the nearest hundredth. So 2 decimal points to the right, if you don't know what the nearest hundredth is. That will give you a more accurate weight, because if you have the wrong scale, it will always round up or round down. And that really is not when you're talking about 1/100th of a gram or 1/10th of a gram making a difference, which it can in some cases, you need to have an accurate. Okay. Yes, you can spend that, Robert Bruce. You know what you can do? You can go to your nearest wishing well and make a wish for a 1982 D small date copper cent. That's what you can do with all of your non-1982 D small date copper cents. Just wish for one. Because the odds of you finding one and the odds of you having your wish come true are about the same. But back to this discussion.
Thanks, Shock.
Back to this
I put the new one in. There's the 2 items for St. Jude.
Oh, yay. Perfect. This kind of all goes back to what is important to all 3 of us over and over and over, what we kind of harp on, and that's just protecting you guys. Fortunately, the person who bought this coin didn't overpay. They pretty much paid what they would pay for just a regular shield nickel, which is fine. But the potential was there. And now that owner has a coin that they think is a variety that it's not. And that's the problem. Because should they decide to sell that coin, then it's their reputation on the line now, not the person they bought it from.
Yep.
Does that make sense? So when we do stuff like this, it's not that we are trying to bash someone or anything else. That's why we're not naming any names. And if you guys know who this is, please don't say anything in the chat. But we need to watch out for each other. Continue to something I haven't looked for yet. It should keep me. Yeah, kin of mine. Don't spend too much time on it.
Yeah, and again, so Chuck did a thing on the math on this, and it's kind of funny. So in order to find one, the odds are like 1 in 500 billion or something like that.
I can kind of tell
you. There's only 2. There's only 2 known.
To find,
I think there might be 3 now. Actually,
I think there's 3.
One was found.
There's 350. There's 358 doubled dies. I know that, but
yeah, I know that they found one during COVID.
So there is one out there that is very questionable. There's one out there that it was sent to Ken Potter. He thought it looked like there may be glue around the mint mark. The person took it upon themselves.
Yeah, that was a 4th one. There was 2 of them found in Illinois within 2 months. One of them has been graded, as far as I know. One of the new ones, and has been authenticated. All right, there was almost 17 billion cents minted in 1982.
Yeah,
6 billion are Denver. So
if I can give all of you guys one tip, you can go on eBay right now, or you may know somebody in the community you can buy one of these for. They put together sets of the 7 normal varieties.
Yeah, Chuck sells them, I sell them. We all have a lot of people sell them.
Yeah, there you go. I suggest buying one of those because you can buy them for a few bucks, couple bucks, few bucks. I don't know what you guys sell them for, but you can be really cheap. And then you actually have examples in your hand to tell the difference between a large date and a small date. That is the best way to learn the difference, is to actually have them in your hand. So when you find one, you can just go to your reference coins and look at your reference coins and go, okay, yeah, that's not a small date.
Yeah, the odds at this point are 1 in about 2 billion.
Yeah,
to find one.
No, you're not wasting anybody's time, Robert Bruce.
No.
Yeah, and that's, I'm typing this in chat right now.
For it. By all means, keep your eye open for it, but don't.
Yeah, and again,
go over and above the Call of Duty.
I want to be very clear. Because we say something is ultra rare doesn't mean don't look for it. Yeah. What we're not doing is we're not going to do what some of these channels do and fear you, FOMO you into, oh my God, you got to look for this. It's going to be so amazing. There's, you can find this in your pocket change. Well, you know what? You can find lint in your pocket change too. It doesn't mean we're going to tell you to go look for it.
Out of all the coins they say that about, this is probably the coin that will be found in pocket change, though.
Well, I mean,
the whole thing.
I think a little bit differently about this. So a lot of people, there's a lot of groups on Facebook even that won't allow people to even post their 1982 cents because they're just so tired of hearing about it. And you hear people, educators and stuff, complaining sometimes about, oh, here's another one, and but I look at it
I'm
like
guilty.
this. That is the single coin out of probably every coin out there that has probably brought more people into this hobby than any other coin.
I agree.
And it's actually, if you're going to find it, that's probably where you're going to find it. I mean, there's a lot of 82 rolls around, but you know, they made a ton of coins that year. And I can say I get about 1,000 emails a week. And 900 of them are about 1982 cents. So I'm one of those ones that always goes, oh my God, another one.
Make yourself a template and just copy paste it. Copy paste.
Oh, I do.
Copy, paste
I do. And then you get,
yeah.
You just want to, because everything comes with, I want to sell this coin. And you just want to written that ends up with you want to rip.
Then you
I don't want
then you write back. You write back and you say, we're sorry, the number you have dialed has been
well, I just tell them I don't buy coins. I'm offering this service. Yeah. I'm not going to buy. I don't want to buy your coins at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and again, folks, here's the thing.
I just don't argue with them.
If you take it somewhere, you take it to a coin shop and they tell you it's not worth anything, and they don't offer to buy it, pretty much gives you an idea that it's not worth anything.
I just went through a 1943S thing with somebody.
If you go to a coin shop and you pull something out and they walk back to the back and somebody comes out and they're like, we'll give you $10 for it, I would question it. Okay. But that is so far and few between. Don't make the rarity don't think that that's the norm. Most coin shops are not out there to rip you off. There are some that are looking for a profit. But turnabout is fair play.
Well, they're all looking for a profit, and that's fine because they're in business to make money. They're not in business to lose money.
But if you go to a coin shop, I'll give you a great example. Let's say that the top coin here that we're looking at, 1925, it doesn't exist, but let's say it did. If you were going through and you go to a coin shop and you see this in the case, are you going to tell the coin shop owner, oh, by the way, you have this mismarked? This is an overdate. No, you're not going to do that, right? You're going to say, no, you're going to fork out the $45. You're going to pay it. You're going to leave.
Yeah, just don't haggle with them.
Yeah, because then they're going to look
pay them their asking price.
Right? Just give them their asking price.
Yeah. If you cherry pick somebody, if you cherry pick a dealer and you don't want them, let them know that you just pay them their asking price and wish them a nice day.
And if you sit in their shop for 2 hours, buy something.
Yep. Absolutely buy something.
Yep.
Even
if it's $10, buy something.
I went one time and I sat in a coin shop. I don't go to coin shops very often, mainly because of time. And I sat there for quite a while. And I told them, I'm going to step outside. I'll be right back. And I came back in and I had my coin book. And I opened it up in front of them.
I'll be right back.
And I was like, okay, I need this one, and this one. And the guy was like, we were getting ready to say, hey, we need you to make some space. I ended up spending a couple $100 in the coin shop. And when I went back in, they're like, hey, you still looking for half cents? Hey, you still looking for this? And they were willing to work with me now because they understood if I'm going to take up your time, I'm going to make it, you're going to get something from it. If I have no intent to buy, I'm not going to go to a coin shop. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to waste their time because, again, they have customers coming in. I'm taking up space. If you're friends with your coin owner and you want to go in and you want to just visit and say hi, make sure that when their customers come in, you step aside and give them the opportunity to deal with the customer without having them to say, hey, give me a minute. Let me deal with them. Be courteous of that. There's coin etiquette, right? So show people the same respect that you'd want to be shown if you want to go there. Liquid Electrum, 99% of error coins that walk into a coin shop are not errors. Yeah. Again, people believe they have more than they have. That's absolutely right.
I think that's
But
human
again,
nature.
if you're going to check for them, be respectful, right? Give the coin shop something for doing it.
And
Buy
accept
a
the
coin or
answer.
two.
A lot of people, everybody wants their coin to be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Accept the answer when you find out that it's not. That is the biggest issue with everything that I do, like on those emails for the 82. The biggest issue is they automatically think that I'm trying to prey on them when I wouldn't even buy the coin in the first place. I don't have the money to buy that coin because that coin's worth money that's like real money,
Serious
retirement
money.
money.
Serious money. Yeah.
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 And but ultimately it's like always, I'm the bad guy. So that's why I guess I get the I don't want to even deal with them. But I do. I still like Paula said, I kind of got a template in Notepad.
Okay.
I give the same response every time.
Make sure you guys are smashing the like. And again, if you're here watching the discussion
Again, to a coin shop
and you
are
have
not
any
errors.
questions, please feel free to do so. And again, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate
That is absolutely true. Listen, if you think you have an error coin, assume it's damage.
Yeah.
Always assume it is damage.
And that
till
doesn't
you know enough about the minting process that you can pinpoint it to an area in the minting process where it happened.
right, but that doesn't mean throw it in the junk bag. That means save
No,
it until you
I mean,
figure it
set
out.
it aside. Yep, set it aside, put it in a flip, label it, and come back to it. Or
So Big Flip,
ask somebody.
Big Flip put something in chat, and this is a sticky wicket. Here's a topic for you. Yes or no to sellers that don't give written prices on coins. As a buyer, you need to ask how much it is on every coin. Yes or no to that dealer. That all depends.
It depends on what you're buying.
It depends. Yeah. So it really depends on the coin. I wouldn't say no, but again, I would definitely go in and say I need to I need to know what I'm looking for before I go in. I need to know the
Right.
price ranges because it's
yeah,
just as much on the buyer
exactly.
as it is on the seller.
Uh-huh.
You need to understand what you're purchasing. You need to understand what you're going in for. Now, if you
should be
are a
looking
brand new
something.
person and you don't know, could the coin shop take advantage, or could the seller, not even coin shop, could the seller, it could be a YouTube channel, could be
It could be
eBay
both
listing,
ways.
whatever. If there's something like that, could they take advantage of that person by utilizing that? Yes, they can.
I mean,
But
here's a good
again,
example, Frosty, when you're done.
yeah,
Silver coins, like let's say a 1964 Kennedy $50 in uncirculated condition.
okay,
They could have you go to coin shops, they have boxes and boxes and boxes of coins. It used to be customary for them to write a price on every flip. Like even now, like at the fun show when I went there, very few silver coins had a price on the flip because the prices are changing. A lot of these coins are so common, they're basically selling an uncirculated coin at bullion price. So it changes every day.
Mhm.
Where I was looking through a box of dimes, and the guy said he just flat out told me, "Don't pay attention to the prices in the bottom corner because some of these dimes have been in that box for 10 years." And there was dimes that had like a 1948 S uncirculated silver dime that had 75 cents written on the bottom corner.
yeah.
And that was
So
because he was too lazy to put it in a new flip.
yeah, so in relation to this, again, now talking about replacing the flips every week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever that might be, um, it's important to understand that when you buy, even when you're buying online and you see a price tag of $10, but they're asking 50 for it, that $10 could have been written on that flip 30 years ago.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
The dealer should
So
say, ignore the prices in the corner because some of these
just
coins have been
because
there
there's
for
a
years.
price on the flip doesn't necessarily mean that's what it's going for. So
It's not
again,
just coins. It's not
that
just
really
coins. If you
depends.
go to Walmart, they don't put the prices on every individual item. They put it either on the shelf or they have a barcode thing that you can scan. Because if they did that, every time something went on sale or whatever, they would have to go back through all of their inventory and change all, like they used to have to do. I used to have to do that with a little price gun.
Yeah, that was something that does happen because it used to be everything had to have a price tag because they used to, if it was mismarked, you used to have to pay a penalty for it. The retailer did,
But
they
things,
got
the
rid of that.
market changes, you know,
They did.
the
Well, they
market
got rid of that
changes
law,
with coins.
and
Yeah, I
that came when
know.
barcodes hit. Everything
Mhm.
started using a barcode, so there was no reason to put a little sticker with the price on it.
No, so the systems now are different than they are. But again, you can't barcode everything all the time. It costs
Hi,
money.
Azure.
Right. Have a good one, Azure. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Have a
Yeah, have a
But
great
great
again,
day,
day.
Azure.
so there, big flip. That's one of those questions. There's really there's no correct answer to. But again, and I say this all the time, caveat emptor. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's around property. It's buyer beware, right? But you can't necessarily say that you don't buy from a person that doesn't have prices on their coins. It might purely be a cost savings for them. And if you have a brick and mortar shop, especially, cost savings is important, especially if you're talking about buying hundreds of flips every week. That's the
That and
plus the amount of
collectors,
time, the time labor, and that is crazy too.
Well, I have
collectors.
certain things I have prices on and certain things I don't have
Yeah, I mean,
prices
I've
on.
got coins with prices on them, but a lot of coins with prices on them, even at a dealer's, they buy coins from somebody. They don't necessarily unflip them, and somebody might have wrote a weird price on it. I mean, I've bought coins that had a $200 price tag on it, and I'm just like, "Are you serious?" He goes, "No, no, no. I bought that for it's $2. It's not 200. The previous owner thought it was worth $200."
JJ's trying to trigger Paula.
Um,
Of course.
when you find a coin that you want, you just say how much. And if you want him to put a grade on it, you shouldn't buy it anyways. You should be putting your own. I love this coin. I love the way it looks. How much do you want for it?
Yeah, and
I
again,
mean,
folks,
that's my opinion. You buy the coin, you don't buy the holder.
if you're going to go buy, if there's anybody in chat that disagrees with this, that's fine. But if you're going to go buy a coin, and you know you're going to go buy a coin, do some research on it before you leave the house.
Plastic set.
It should have a general grade, Ashes. I believe with that.
Yeah.
I mean, but if it doesn't, and you still want the coin, you know what you want. You know what you're looking for, hopefully.
Well, I don't trust other people's grading anyway.
I was just about to go there. Yeah.
So
Liquid says, I checked 3 different references on current prices. After a decade, I've learned prices move up and down like any market. Fact. Supply and demand. Fact. That changes things. And CC Morgan's are a bit down, for example.
so does liquidity.
Yeah.
Selling your
exactly.
coins to a dealer, you're never going to get what they're worth.
Yep.
You're always
No,
because they got
they
light
have to
bills
make
to pay, they
money.
got rent to pay, they got help to pay.
Yeah.
There's expenses that
absolutely.
are all involved in this. That's why they try to buy under what they're worth, and they try to sell them a little bit over what they're worth.
Yeah, and if you can buy, and again, this is just my opinion. Ashes is in chat. I bought a bunch of coins from Ashes over the last year. I would rather buy one-on-one. He's going to get better price selling it to me than he will ever get selling it back to a coin shop.
Yeah, I agree, Big Flip and Ashes. That's right.
If you want a decent price, your coin shop may give you that. If you know them, the price is fair. It's a little bit under what you want, but it's a fair price. Then work with them. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to have a good relationship with a coin shop and say, hey, you know what? You owe me a favor. And likewise, if you're a coin shop, don't go to people and say, hey, you have this coin. You owe it to me to sell it to me. Don't do that, right? And so there are situations in business where it's the buyer's responsibility to understand what the hell's going on, and it's the seller's understanding to do the same. There are 2 parties to every transaction. You both should be informed as much as possible. One of you is going to know more than the other. It's just a give and take. But find trusted people in the relationship and build relationships. That's what we're trying to do here. Tiger Stacker and I do Stack Collector, looking at stacking and collecting. It's the same reason we're doing that.
Did you
It's
call it stack collecting?
Stack Collector. Yeah,
Stack collecting.
Nice.
it's the new thing that we have, and that is he takes the stacking end, I take the collecting end, and we work both ends of that aspect, because you need to know both ends. A lot of people are like, no, I just do weight. And it's like, well, if you just do weight, I can give you case after case after case after case where you will lose money hand over fist by not understanding the numismatic value of what coin you're changing. So it's important to build a good network of people and to bring people together and have good discussions. Being Becky, good day. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, it's 100% one of these things where you need a good community. And this is what the three of us are here trying to do. And it's not just the three of us. I talk about I think I talk about like 5 or 6 channels all the time that are genuinely trying to provide good, solid information. And why do I talk about those channels? Well, a couple reasons. If I'm looking at ancients, I'm going to nobody but Aaron Burke. Boom. Right? That's the person I'm asking. If I'm looking at copper coins, I'm looking at Lincoln cents, or just want a general opinion on coins in general, but relating to cents, I'm going to Eric and Chuck, right? If I'm looking at 2-cent pieces or 3-cent pieces, I'm going to go holler at Shay Hofstetter over at Livecoin, Mantic Coins.
Master.
Hofstetter?
Hoffmaster.
Hofmaster? Did I say
Hoffmaster.
I don't know where I got that from. Yeah, so I'm going to go to Shay, right? If I'm going to be looking at world coins and trying to understand some stuff, if I know it's a Canadian coin, I'm going to be going to people like Cadroll Hunter or Amanda. Amanda really knows a lot about world coins. Great resource. If I am looking at specific issues when it comes to relationships and connections and who to talk to, I'm going to Paula. I'm going to Coin Show podcast. I'm going to some of these people who have dealt with these people and can help me get the information, right? Build a good, solid network of people. That's the best strategy you have to making sure you have money. And then you obviously want to have people, Big Flip. I don't pop into Big Flip as much as I used to, simply because of my work change schedule and I go to bed earlier. Trying to pop into different channels. I just don't show up as many places as I used to. But have collectors, right? There's
Can I answer Robert Bruce's question real quick before it goes too far
app?
up and I forget about it? Yeah.
The coin app.
So the only thing that coin apps are good for, Robert Bruce, is to tell you what coin you have. That's it. Like to tell you if it's a Lincoln cent, if it even tells you that. Sometimes they don't even tell you that. But don't use it for anything else. If you have a world coin and you just want to know what country it came from or whatever, about 75% of the time you'll get the right answer. It'll tell you what it is. But that's about all they're good for. Nothing else. They don't use it for grading your coin, don't use it for pricing your coin, nothing.
And a lot of times they're wrong.
To identify it. That's it.
A lot of times they're wrong.
A lot of times they're wrong.
Oh, 99% of the time they're wrong. So
Liquid, I just said that's a sticky topic. Toner pricing. I'll be honest with you. There are some coins that are toned. I've got one. Actually, it's right here. Probably won't be able to.
Toner pricing all goes back to eye appeal, and it's individual preference.
I have individual because I owned a shop, and I can tell you that I used to throw toners in the junk bucket, and then I would get rolls, and I'd sell them as impaired rolls. And I always used to go to myself, how can these rolls bring this? They bring as much as the regular rolls bring. And now I know, and it was years. And then all of a sudden I seen people, and I says, is this a new thing? And Chuck goes, yeah, kind of new. But no, there's always been people who like toners, but now it's like a real thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, damn, I used to throw them in the junk bucket.
This toner right here, you can't see it very well. Actually, it's right there. This is a Morgan dollar. And you can see right here, it's got a purplish blue tone. It's amazing toning, and around the edge, it's starting to turn dark, right? Just because of the type of toning it was in. But I like it, and I like it for two reasons. It was a Morgan dollar that came from my grandfather, and so it has personal value to it because there's history there. There's something that means something. But if I had the opportunity to buy a toning coin and I had one that was blast white, I'd be buying the blast white any day. Just that's my preference. Um, Now, when you talk about grading, yeah, it's a new thing, but there are grading companies that will reject toner.
But not, it's weird. With silver, to get a high grade, it used to have to be blast white. Now I think the grading companies have got the message that if it's totally blast white, chances are it's been dipped.
Hey, Farm Dog, I
Oh,
never waste one of those. Oh,
but
wait,
dipping
hold
used to
on.
be
You're
acceptable
talking about cents.
even. So,
I'm just kidding. That was supposed to be funny. You
and
guys,
if you're looking for toners,
I'm not reading the line that I did to Farm Dog because that would be rather
late
inappropriate. But
late
hopefully he
50s,
laughs at me.
early 60s nickels, there's some proof nickels. There's beautiful purple toners in some of those.
Never
Uh,
waste one of those.
it's kind of an untapped resource for all of you that are like the toners.
Sorry, I'm picking on. Hey, Jack, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Been thinking about you. I need to get your email and follow up with you. Hope you're doing well, brother. Good to hear from you. Man,
It
good
is kind of
conversation.
damaged. It's tarnish. It's just tarnish on a coin.
It is tarnish. It's oxidation.
Yep.
And like I say,
Yep.
it used to be okay to dip coins, and there's still dealers that dip coins, and they don't get caught. But then some get caught. But I mean, back when I started collecting coins, it had to be blast white. Nobody wanted a toned silver coin.
So
They
again,
wanted blast white.
liquid. My thing is, I like to see them. I don't have a problem with it. But if you don't understand toning, as you stated, toning is very subjective. But to understand how toning actually occurs, there is color theory behind it. Like you need to understand the natural toning progress, the colors. What colors can be next to each other, which ones can't.
And what substances produce what color?
Right. And so you're going to understand and what chemicals produce what color too. And you're going to understand that sometimes you're going to see these amazing rainbow color tones because they get irradiated or they put a chemical on those.
Allegedly.
I got a good story about that.
It's not allegedly.
Florida, I left my desk, and my desk was near a window, and there was a roll of 57D uncirculated coins that I was going through the day before I moved, because we kind of moved. It was like, my wife says, I got a new job. We've got to move next week. And I says, oh, okay. So we moved. So a couple of years later, I'm going to sell the house. So I got to clean everything out of the house. At that point, I was going back and forth. And I put these coins in. They were perfectly toned, and they were toned from the ultraviolet of the sun. Where the coin was laying on another coin, there would be like a perfect half moon, and above it was purple.
Well, you get on like 61 and I think it's 61 nickels and 62 nickels. You get that purple, like deep,
the violet.
purple.
That's what I said.
Yeah, and then, but the $half oftentimes will be this splotchy, nasty
yellow
brown. Yeah, yellow brown, like ugh.
And proof nickels are even better than regular nickels. Turn them purple. They turn like the purple that is on the bottom around the thing in Frosty's frame.
I've got 3 nickels that I absolutely love. I'm a freak. I love nickels anyway. I collect nickels for a very specific reason. 3 cent. Just all the years, I just like nickels. But it's for a very particular reason. Now, I've got the black gunmetal, really neat black beauties. And then I've got ones that are like sky blue, amazing. Um, I really like the coloration that comes from nickels. They're to me they're beautiful. But there are some that, like Paul is saying, there's some that the way that the toning, natural toning happens on them, just
Yeah.
ugly.
Well, even
And
clad coins, when they
if
went from silver to clad, the clad coins of the 60s, they almost turn gray when they start oxidizing. They just don't look good.
yeah.
Uh,
Now, liquid, he's like, you can't fake textiles. So liquid seems to really, really, really understand the complete concept. I'm not challenging liquid at all. My point is there's a lot of people who
Oops.
just
I
don't
know.
know. And there's a lot of people who utilize that to manipulate others. And so the more information that we can provide, the better that people are going to be informed. I would love to see, you said you have an amazing Morgan set that's all, I would love to be able to see some things like that and walk through why they're good and why they're not. No, I love it, Electro. I'm glad you're here. Really, like I'm really glad you're talking about this. This is why we're doing this. But it would be
Well,
good
and
to
here's the
inform people and
question
let
for
people
you
know.
guys. Here's a question for you guys. If you take, so sunlight can tone a coin naturally, right?
Yes.
oh yeah,
Sunlight can. So if you take a coin and you put it out in the sun, is that considered artificial toning because you've sped up the process? There are ways to speed up the
yeah.
process
I'm not
of
sure
the natural process of toning. So at
I'm
what
not
point
sure.
does it become unnatural?
Yeah, I am not totally
So,
sure of that question. The answer
okay,
to that question,
my
Right.
because it's
opinion,
an actual natural way of doing it.
my opinion
Right.
is that is not real. And the reason that I would say it's not real is because when you look at the natural progression of color, it's subtle. Whereas the
Yeah,
faster
but
you turn it, the brighter
all
the
you're doing
bands.
is speeding up a natural process. So the
I think
color
what
is going
she's
to be
saying,
the color
Frostbite,
is
is
going to
if
be the same.
you left it
You
in the
can
sun for
speed,
2 days and it toned
yep.
just a very little bit,
You
is it
can
still
put,
artificially toned?
so there's album toning, right? There's album toning that used to
Right.
Right, and that
happen
goes
in
back to
coins.
that's chemical. That technically is artificial toning. Album toning
That's
is
my,
because that is a reaction with
so,
acid.
but they don't consider that
Right.
artificial. So how would you know if somebody had an old album and they just put a coin in
Yeah.
and they
The only
sped up the
reason you'd
process?
know from the sunlight is like that roll I'm talking about. When it was like spread out, so the coins overlapped. So they had these big purple half
Yeah.
moons all the way across.
Yeah,
Which was pretty cool.
PCI holders. Yeah, they toned in those. Yep. So there are some circumstances and people have gotten really smart and they've gotten really good at it. And that is the problem because now everybody who sends in a coin that actually was naturally toned through a years long process or whatever, the grading companies are now very they're overly cautious. So
They are
you are seeing a lot of coins come back now with
artificial or
questionable color
yeah. And
because
they used to grade them brown, like in Lincoln Cents. You'd get these purple Lincoln Cents, and they would straight grade 5 years ago, all of them straight graded, and they would just come back with a grade, and then it would say brown next to them, even though they were purple.
bye Ashes.
And
Have a great weekend, my friend.
it was
Have a
about
great one, Ashes.
2021, 2022. All of a sudden, they started coming back questionable color or artificial.
Yeah.
But that's the problem now because people have gotten so good at it and they are, for a long time they were fooling the grading companies and stuff because they were using natural processes. They were just speeding them up.
Yeah.
Now the grading companies are, you're going to be lucky if you get a straight graded.
Well, that and they've
coin.
got those RF guns too, so they can, if they
Yeah.
are questionable at all, they just hit it and they can get a spectrometer reading. I
Yeah,
think that's
spectrometer.
what it's
Yeah.
called.
It's
Robert
spectrometer.
Bruce, I found a 61 quarter that's red on both sides. Vending companies, even today, paint quarters red so they can keep track of quarters.
They used to use that in the 50s. You'll see
Yep.
a lot of the 50s and 60s, or the 40s and 50s, because the jukebox,
That's
when
right.
they
Free,
had the
free
little small
coins in the
jukebox,
jukebox. And
yeah,
that
they
way
used to
it
throw a
allowed them
quarter
to
on the
keep
table
track.
so that people could at least put something in and play jukebox. So they were called house coins, and so they used to paint them red. I think different houses would paint them, but primarily you would see red.
Yeah.
That way,
it's
when the
not
person
uncommon.
came to collect the change, they would pull the red ones out and provide them back to the house. Yeah, liquid house quarters. Yeah, and again, yeah, it's so those are cool, but again, that's you're not going to find one that's brand new. They're all pretty worn and they have the red edges. So, but that's usually what those mean. Fun stuff.
Robert Bruce, I don't know if you have a red book, but it sounds like you might be kind of new. I mean, and if you're not, maybe you're not. But a red book would be, and that goes for anybody. If you're a coin collector and you don't own a red book, it can be a red book from 10 years ago. I don't care. You don't have to have a current one. In fact, I usually recommend you don't buy a current one because they're cheaper to buy if they're a couple years old.
Yeah.
Everybody should own a red book.
Says I love
Everybody
my 54 D mint mark on the reverse, right? Yeah, all mint marks were on the reverse before 1968.
Yeah.
And of course, between 65 and 67, there were no mint marks.
And between 43 and 40, hold on,
42
is it 40?
45.
Yeah,
are on
yeah.
there.
Mint mark on the reverse.
Yeah, you got the big
Mhm.
center one. Yeah, for the war nickel.
But they put them on the obverse from 68 forward.
Yep. Very cool. Well, folks, I hope you guys have enjoyed today.
Stick around, Eric. Don't leave yet.
All right, I'm here.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Tomorrow we're going to do just a normal chit chat. Hey, Strider, what's up? Tomorrow we're going to do
I'll be
normal
right
chit
back.
chat. Ask questions, come in. We'll do whatever we can. If you have photos that you want to show, send them in. Illiquid, send me the claim email. I'll get you the sticker stuff out. I'm doing all my stuff when I'm done today. So I'll get all those things out. So thank you for all of your chatting and for all of your engagement. New subscriber today came in blazing. I definitely appreciate you a ton. So thank you so much for that. We had 10 subscribers during this stream. So for those of you that subscribed, outstanding. Thank you so much for doing so. I appreciate you guys. And again, hope you have a wonderful day. Lots of fun streaming going on today. Eric, what time are you doing your reveal?
Around 1:30, probably start around 1.
So that's 1 Eastern time. So go check out Copper Coins around that time frame.
2009 LP2 roll. So we probably will find something.
I'm sure you'll find quite a few, actually.
I hope so.
You know what we need to do? We need to have Coin Junkie there.
Right. All right. Matter of fact, there's the roll right there.
Outstanding.
Breaking open.
All right, Mom. Have a great day. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. All right, folks.
Have a great day, everybody.
Love you guys. Be well, be blessed. And you know what? I will see you in the stream.